Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. We're here for the second race in Hungary around Budapest, the beautiful country that is very nice and very easy on the eyes when it comes to the traditional landmarks, not so much the weather. It's kind of overcast here, so it's going to be interesting to see what we can do and what we can make up from a decent race out in the feature race. If you haven't checked that, do go check that out, guys. It's definitely an interesting race, to say the least. The AI definitely made it a lot better for us. That's how I would put it. But it's going to be interesting to see if we can make up 7 positions and get ourselves back in the lead and do the double. We haven't done a double since Baku, ironically. It's the only double we've done this season, although I would love to have done one in Austria. Unfortunately, it didn't quite pan out that way. I think that was definitely our closest opportunity, as opposed to any of the other weekends we've had. We haven't really had a great weekend, really, since Austria. But nonetheless, we're going to get the formation up underway as normal. Make sure our tyres are heated up to the maximum, and make sure we actually get a decent start. Again, starts have always been a problem for us, and they continue to be a problem for us throughout the rest of the season, and probably will be all the way until the end of the season. So it's not really something we can practice and get underway. There's not really much of a window for that, but we are ready to get the race on the way. 5 lights are on and we are underway. Not a bad start, not a great start. Aitken gets a little bit sideways on the exit, very similar to us. We lose a place to camera, and after that everyone else must have had a horrific start because they're so far behind. We're going into turn 1, go around the outside of Sete Camera, possibly around the outside of Aitken. We're tucked up behind Matsushita. I'm going to get the drive on the exit of Aitken. He's going to still go side by side with us. He gets an even better exit than I thought he did, to be fair. So fair play to him. Down the inside of Jack Aitken into turn 2. And we're going to hold it around the outside here. Give a bit of a squeeze, just make sure we gain that position. And we have no dramas. You can see we're going to go really slowly. Matsushita slows massively. So does Schubert. And we got a 2x2 for the lead. De Vries and King battling out for P1 at the moment, and it looks like Jordan King's going to have that. Aitken does come back at us very momentarily, but we managed to hold off that challenge from the British driver. Down the inside of Nobuharu Matsushita into the chicane, very tight. He gives us enough room just to make the move on the exit. We give him a bit of room in return, just out of respect, through the S section, and we do get a position up into P6. All before lap 1, so that was probably one of the best opening laps I think we've had all season, to be fair. Hubert is just behind Alesi now. We might actually move down the side of Hubert, and down the side of Alesi we bang tyres with Alesi now. I can tell you that was not an intentional overtake. I meant to go past Hubert, and then Alesi just slowed up so much and just won't full send. So not my finest overtake by any means, but apologies Giuliano. Won't do that again. It's very easy to do that into turn 1. I did that I think 2 times in the feature race, so it's very easy to do. Just not scrub off enough speed into the braking zone, and the next thing you know, you're just hoping you don't damage your front wing. But we've got a great run of Boccolacci. Maybe we can look around the outside of turn 4. He doesn't even try it. He backs off massively before we even get to the braking zone, gives us the position, and we're up into P3 on lap 3, so we're looking really good. We've got some really solid pace here, so it's looking really great. We almost go around the outside of De Vries into the penultimate corner. We're going to dive down the inside into the final corner, get that move done nice and early. We're going to have DRS as well, so he'll be a sitting duck when it comes to Boccolacci potentially, and we set the fastest lap. We are on a charge, so we're absolutely smashing this so far. We've got a yellow flag out. I'm not entirely sure who that is for. In fact, I'm pretty sure, looking at the minimap, that's going to be Callum Ilott. It is indeed. So back-to-back retirements for Callum Ilott here in Hungary. That is really, really bad in the grand scheme of things for the Ferrari Academy driver. But we're closing up to the back of King. Again, we've got some really solid pace at the moment on these tyres in the sprint race. We just seem to be doing so much better. We definitely prefer this compound of tyre. So moving forward, I think we're going to maybe try and prioritise this tyre for the rest of the season. That's probably the best way to do it, and the best way to go about things. In the pursuit now of what is P1, we're like less than 2/10 behind. We might fancy move into turn. We're going to dive it down the inside of Jordan King, and we're going to secure that P1. He's going to go for the switchback. A very audacious move there from Jordan King. This is what you like to see. We haven't had a battle with King like this all season. We're going to dive down the inside. He covers it, but we're going to make sure we dive down there and get that position. And that was a very tasty move on Jordan King. It makes a nice change. You know, we usually just have incidents and, you know, you barge each other out the way and whatnot, but we actually had a decent battle. If you look at a replay, our side pod's a little bit scuffed up from turn 1 and 2 on the opening lap, but you can see he gets a great switch, but you miss it unfortunately on the replay cameras, but we hold the inside line. He did squeeze us, maybe try and think hopefully we can get a bit of a better angle from here, but you can see we dive down the inside. He's going to get a great exit, nice switchback maneuver, squeezes us on the exit. He's got so much real estate on the exit on the right hand side as well, and he just chooses not to use it. He gives us a little bit of a squeeze. We go down the inside regardless, and that's us up into another position. So we're coming on lap 8. Got a 2.1 second gap to Jordan King, and we're looking really comfortable, but I think given the situation, everyone's going to pit again and everyone's going to get the fastest lap, so we may consider pitting and putting on these soft tyres, obviously checking the fastest lap. We didn't even get it that lap, so there's clearly a bit more pace left to find in the tyres. So come on to lap 9, we're going to come in, we're going to box, put on the fresh tyres, and just go for the fastest lap. If you want those extra points, obviously it's quite important. Jordan King obviously comes into the pits, just like everyone else should do. Bockel actually comes in, and interesting enough, De Vries and Hubert actually stay out, so that's quite interesting. Maybe they're probably coming in next lap, perhaps. Nonetheless, we're also going to come into our pit box. We've got a little bit of damage to our front wing, and they're changing the front wing, which I didn't ask for. Oh, boys. So that means Jordan King is going to get serviced and out before us. We haven't even got our tyres off, and he's gone. This has gone from great to absolutely horrific. Boccolacci's ahead of us, Matsushita's ahead of us, Aitken's ahead of us. Obviously, don't get me wrong, some of these guys will have to pit, but at the same time, we have just thrown away what was a race lead, and we're down into P11. Well, of course, we're in P11 to an extent, but cars have made their pit exit, and it's just gone awfully wrong. We've got 5 laps to make a move. The Tiffy's thinking about coming down our inside. Obviously, we've got to get these tyres up to temperature, but oh, that's not ideal. That's really not ideal. We're up the back of Sergio Sette camera. We're going to maybe dive it down the inside if there's any gap. There's no gap, unfortunately, but we are obviously putting our nose in on the much faster tyre at this point. We're going to dive it down the inside. We've got an abundance of grip compared to the Dams car, and we move up into P10. Not even in the points currently, so we're definitely struggling a little bit. We've got a warning for track limits. Are you having a laugh? That's outrageous. Nonetheless, Alesi is coming into the pit lane. You've got a few cars in the pit. It looks like it is Nick De Vries, and he's already out and exited the pit lane. So we've lost out massively. Vergonison's in the pit lane, and we're back into P6. Behind De Vries, Boccolacci, King, and I believe Schumacher. So you can see we lose the car in the exact same place that we lost it in the last race. You know, on the exit of turn 3, you just absolutely lose it. We bottle it. I'm not sure why, but we're just absolutely talented at that. But coming through the start finish line, about to set hopefully a purple lap time, but no, still a green lap. Jordan King actually comes into the pit lane again, so King's made yet another stop, as I'm pretty sure Boccolacci also was another one of them. But Antoine Hubert, who stayed out, has actually won the race. These soft tyres really fell apart towards the end. Also, we had a spin. We're going to go down the inside of Sergio Sette camera at turn 11 before we even got an opportunity to cross the line and maybe take a P5. We just send it down the inside. He was so slow. I was saying these tyres weren't working very well, but cameras are really struggling, especially for this high-speed section. We get that move done, and we move up one more position. P4, it's not great. Mick is in P2, 25 seconds up the road compared to us. We've struggled massively on these tyres, and I'm not sure why. It's very concerning as to why that had happened, but nonetheless, Mick gets driver of the day, so fair play to him. We tried the alternate strategy. It didn't quite work out, but massive props to Antoine Hubert, who does take the win out in Hungary. So that is, I believe, his first win of the season. So it's very nice to see him, obviously, on the top step of the podium. Next race is obviously Belgium. So anything can happen around Belgium. I've got obviously a special helmet for both races. Little tribute to Antoine. So make sure to come back and check those helmets out. They are really good. And yeah, quite possibly the Belgium races might do 2 into 1, given it's Belgium, you know, the races can be quite boring traditionally. But Antoine stands atop the podium, Nick de Vries on the right hand side, Mick Schumacher on the left. Yeah, overall it wasn't too bad, Hungary. It was alright. The first race obviously was phenomenal. This race, not so much. Obviously we bagged 10 points. But yeah, I think in the end it was Nick de Vries who ended up getting the fastest lap. So yeah, very, very odd indeed. Oh no, in fact it was actually us. So the Matsushita, who did have it, obviously didn't finish in top 10s. Right, so we actually got the points for the fastest lap. That's pretty sound. So I guess it's something to look at. But that's been it for me, guys. If you enjoyed, please slap a like on it, and I'll see you around for the next video. Take care. Bye bye.